Hello friends. Hello friends. Myself Amit Patel. Now it is my second lecture of polity. So yesterday I delivered a lecture on polity from Article 1 to 4, Part 1 of the Constitution. Today we will see Part 2 of the Constitution from Article 5 to 11. That is nothing but the citizenship. Yesterday my friends they asked me that why you didn't mention the states and union territories. So for them I'm mentioning that there are 28 states and 8 union territories are there in India. So that was the doubt obviously of them, and they suggested me that I should cover the case studies for UPSC level, but whenever it is necessary I will definitely cover the case studies. Thank you so much for the suggestion. Definitely I will improve in the next upcoming lectures. So today we are going to start with the fresh and new topic, that is nothing but the citizenship. So friends, from Article 5 to 11, citizenship is covered. It is coming under the Part 2 of the Indian Constitution. So we very well know that whenever a person is getting the citizenship of any country, then certain privileges and certain benefits that person is getting. So citizenship is very much required nowadays. 2019 CAA, Citizenship Amendment Act, or you can say CAB, Citizenship Amendment Bill, that is in controversy. But actually the origination of this is started in 2003. In 2003 the amendment amendment invalidate the illegal immigrants. We'll see all the constitutional amendments regarding citizenship. But previously we have to cover the Article 5 to 11. So friends, what is the difference between person and citizen? Or else we'll go in different way. Whenever I will cover the part 3 of the constitution, that is fundamental rights, then I will cover all the article 14, 15 along with 29, 30. So what article 14 says? Article 14 Article 14 says equality before law and equal protection of law. What is mean by that? That means everyone is equal before the law. Everyone is equal before the law. Equality before law, we'll see that concept originates from the rule of law. That rule of law is that rule of law concept means originated by AVDC, that is the British jurist, that is negative concept. Then equal protection of law, that is USA concept, that is somewhat positive concept. We'll deal all these things in upcoming lecture, that is fundamental right. But what is most important now, have you seen that early in the morning Maharashtra CM Devendra Fadnavis took the sword, but that is coming under the Article 361. How? We'll see. Very interesting. Article 361, Article 361A, Article 105, Article 194, Article 31C, all these are exceptions to Article 14. So friends, please, you should do the lectures daily to understand the polity very easily. Now, if we'll deal with Article 14, that Article 14 is talking about the persons. Means Article 14 is given to the persons, while 15, if we'll see that state will not discriminate any citizen on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, and place of birth. That article is given to the citizens. If you'll go with Article 29, it says that language, script, and culture of minority as well as majority should be preserved. Language, script, and culture. Three things are there. And Article 29 deals with not only minority but also majority, means both minority as well as majority. But 30, if we'll see 30, it is only and only for minorities. Okay. Earlier, before the independence, British India was there. After the partition of India, East Pakistan and West Pakistan formulated. So East Pakistan and West Pakistan became nowadays Pakistan and sorry, West Pakistan nowadays Pakistan, and East Pakistan nowadays Bangladesh. Everyone knows. So What about the persons who went to Pakistan, and what about the persons who came from Pakistan? So after the partition, citizenship has to take part. How citizenship is allocated to each and every citizen, that is given in the constitution. Means up to the 26th January 1950, that is very important date, that is the date of commencement of the constitution. I already mentioned in the last class. So up to that day, on that day, whoever will become the citizen of India, that is given in articles. But after that, what will happen? After that, it is designated by the parliament laws. In article 11, parliament is having the right to formulate laws regarding citizenship. Means article 11 gives the right to parliament to formulate the laws. And by using that laws, by using that right in article 11, parliament formulated a law. Which law? Citizenship Act 1955. And that law is amended in 1986, 19. We'll see 2003, 2019, all the amendments we'll see. Up to now it is clear. It is live lecture, friends. I'm not editing anything. Whatever mistakes, whatever things I'm telling, that is live. Okay. So now we'll see that if a person is getting the citizenship, he is getting some special privileges and he is getting some benefits. And date of commencement of the constitution, 26 January 1950. I will tell you the shortcuts how to remember the articles even. I will tell you the shortcuts. So please focus on the lecture. Now, we'll start with the article 5. Previously, what we have seen, that those persons who are residing in India, who are born in India, those persons who are going to Pakistan, those persons who are coming from Pakistan, these all things we have to cover by using the articles. Now friends, whenever our constitution makers they are designing the constitution, there was a word domicile that was so much in controversy. So Supreme Court urged in Mohammad Raza versus State of Bombay case that what is the domicile meaning. Very famous case, Mohammad Raza versus State of Bombay and Pradeep Jain versus Union of India. In both the cases, Supreme Court urged that domicile, there should be only one domicile, that is the domicile of India. No state domicile should be there. Only there is a domicile of India. India follows a single citizenship. In Pradeep Jain versus Union of India and Mohammad Raza versus State of Bombay, in both cases, the domicile word is interpreted. Now we'll see what is article 5. Article 5 is nothing but the citizenship by domicile. What is mean by domicile? Domicile is nothing but the residence of a person, particular residence, that on that address, on this address the person is staying or living, particular or temporary. That is nothing but the residence, we can say. That is short thing. But if somebody wants the citizenship by domicile category, if somebody wants the citizenship by domicile, how that person is getting, that is illustrated in the article 5. Means article 5 is giving the person citizenship by domicile. What is the first condition? That the person should have the domicile in India. That is the very much important. If you want citizenship by domicile, then what you have, you should have the domicile of India. The person should have domicile of India. And along with that, which are the conditions? The person should be born in India. The person is born in India, or one of his parents is born in India, and the person should reside in India before the date of commencement up to 5 years, 26 January 1950. Before that, at least 5 years. See, I will tell you very much shortcuts. In article 5, the person and parents, only two things are there: person and parents, no grandparents. And in article 5, that's why 5 years. Article 5, 5 years. Understood? 5, 5. same. In article 6, 6 months, I will come to that point. But article 5, what you have to remember, since 20 before the 26 January 1950, before that 5 years, that person has to reside in India. First condition, that person should have the domicile of India. And along with that, the person is born in India, or either of his parents are born in India, or before the date of commencement, that is 26 January 1950, that person should be resided in India for consecutive 5 years. We can see the case DP Joshi versus Madhya Bharat. DP Joshi versus Madhya Bharat, there was a conflict arised, but that conflict was supervised by the Supreme Court, and it is cleared that what is the exact way of designing the domicile. Okay. So friends, now article 5 is very simple. Article 5 giving the citizenship to any person by his domicile. The person should be born in India, or either of his parents are born in India, and before the 26 January 1950, before the 26 January 1950, the person is resided at least 5 years in India. Most of you know that before partition in British India, or else I will say undivided India, British India, West Pakistan became the nowadays Pakistan, and East Pakistan became the Bangladesh. So what about the people of that particular country? So we will see. Now article 5 up to clear. Now what about article 6? Article 5 told that citizenship by domicile and 5 years before the 26 January 1950. But article 6, in article 5 one date was mentioned, which date? 26 January 1950. In article 6, friends, one date is mentioned, 19 July 1948. 19 July 1948, very important date. Why this date is very much important? Because on this day permit system is established. Two countries, India and Pakistan, both, they undertook under the permit system, that what whomever wants to go, whomever wants to come from this country to that, and vice versa, they can do under the permit system of resettlement. So 19 July 1948 is so much important. So what was the condition of article 6? Article 6 covers the two condition. What is the condition before 19 July 1948, and what is the condition after the 19 July 1948? So before, there are very simple conditions, that the person either of his parents, and now grandparents, in article 5 only up to parents are there, here grandparents is there, were born in India. The person either of his parents and grandparents are born in India, and he should be resided in India. He should be resided in India after the migration. After the migration, he should not go anywhere. After the migration, he should reside in India. What is the condition? Before 19 July 1948, if that person is coming, then that person has to reside in India. And what is the condition? The person, his parents and grandparents, either of them should be born in India. And second condition is that, what is the second condition? After the migration of that person in India, that person has to reside in India, and that is the condition of before 1948. So what is the condition after 1948? 19 July 1948, what is the condition? That is after the permit system is established. Means on that day also and after that day also. Somebody will ask that what is on the day of 19 July 1948? Same condition, after condition. Means on 19 July 1948 and after the 19 July 1948, first condition is same. The person, either of his parents or his grandparents, should be born in India, and he had written under the permit system of resettlement. That person, he has to tell that I came under the permit system of resettlement. Okay, that person has to tell that I came under the permit system of resettlement. Excuse me friends, I have to check the internet. Okay, so first condition is what? The person, his parents and his grandparents, either of them should be born in India. And second, he had written under the permit system of resettlement. And now Article 6 is telling about the 6 months. After his migration, after his remigration, the person has resided at least 6 months. Means for at least 6 months after the remigration, that person has to reside at least 6 months. See, in Article 5, 5 years, in Article 6, 6 months. And he had written an application to the officer. He had written an application or submit an application to the officer. That is next condition. And last condition, that officer has to register that person that yes, he is now citizen of India, and I have notified, I have registered you as a citizen of India. Very simple. See, after 19 July 1948, we are discussing about Article 6, friends. After 19 July 1948, what is the issue? First condition, the person, his parents or his grandparents, either of them should be born in India. And that person has to tell that I came under the permit system of resettlement. After that, that person has to submit an application to the officer, and that officer should recognize or register that particular person as a citizen of India. That is the case under Article 6. So Article 6. Now Article 5 and 6, these articles are so much simple, but Article 7 overrides the Article 5 and 6. Article 7 actually telling about the person who are going to Pakistan, citizenship of a person who are migrated or going to the Pakistan. So friends, if somebody is going to Pakistan, definitely what will happen? The citizenship of that person is revoked, repealed. So the citizenship of a person who are migrating to Pakistan. In Article 5, which was the date 26 January 1950. In Article 6, which was the date 19 July 1948. And in Article 7, another date is there. 1st March 1947. Remember friends, very simple things. Very simple things. 1st March 1947. So after 1st March 1947, if the persons is going to Pakistan, so his citizenship is repealed, revoked. But after the 1st March 1947, if the person is going to Pakistan and if he is returning, he is coming back to India, then that person is considered that you have came after the 19 July 1948. You are getting? And same condition after the 19 July 1948 will be applied to him. I will come to the point. Somebody will ask you what is the period of 1st March 1947 to 19 July 1948. Between that period, it will come before 19 July 1948. That period is before. But after 1st March 1948, that is also after 19 July 1948. Yes or no? So first condition is same, that person, his parents or either of his grandparents should be born in India. That person has to tell that I came under the resettlement permit system of resettlement, and that person has to submit an application to the officer, and that officer has registered that person as a citizen of India after the 1st March 1947. And after 19 July, same conditions are there. But between 1st March 1947 and 19 July 1914, between that period, which condition will apply? Before 19 July 1948. So Article 7 is having overriding effect of Article 5 and 6. So now we'll move towards Article 8, and that is very much important because Article 8 is telling about the persons who are residing outside India, but it is mainly of Indian origin. Article 8 is giving the citizenship, discussing the citizenship of a person who are residing outside the India and they are having Indian origin. So what is the issue? First condition is that that person itself, his parents and his grandparents are born in undivided India, undivided and British India. Here undivided and British India is there. And in the foreign consulate to the representative of India, that person has to register himself as a citizen of India. That person has to register himself. That person has to register himself as a citizen of India in foreign consulate, representative of India. And that person or his parents or his grandparents, either of them should born in undivided India or British India. Then that person will get the citizenship if he is of Indian origin. If he is staying outside India, means not Pakistan, not Bangladesh, abroad, except Pakistan and Bangladesh. That point is also very much important. So now what is Article 9? Article 9 is so much important because it is revoking the citizenship. What is there in article? Not deemed to be citizen of India. What is not deemed to be citizen of India? Means if the person voluntarily acquires the citizenship of another country, if the person is voluntarily acquires the citizenship of another country, then the Indian citizenship is revoked of that person, repealed of that person, vanished of that person. Why? Because India is not allowing dual citizenship. If you are voluntarily acquiring the citizenship of another country, automatically Indian citizenship will vanish. Remember that. So Article 9 is about the termination of citizenship. We'll see which are the, by which way our citizenship is vanished. We'll see in the next class, upcoming classes. So this is the Article 9. Now Article 10. Article 10 is very much important. Article 10 is telling that continuance of a citizenship, that is nothing but unless and until parliament is design a law, your citizenship is in continuance. Or else you can say in another words, your citizenship, the person's citizenship is in continuation, subject to the laws by parliament. That is the advocatory language. Indian citizenship is in continuous, subject to the laws of the parliament. That means what? That parliament is having the right to change the laws regarding citizenship, and unless and until the parliament is satisfied, your citizenship will not be revoked. But if the parliament will design such a law that your citizenship should be taken, then you have to follow that law. Your citizenship is up to the continuous unless and until parliament formulate the new law. That is in article 10. Now last article, article 11. Article 11 is very much simple. In that article, only parliament is having the right to formulate the laws. Constitution gives parliament the right. Constitution is giving the right to who? Parliament. Constitution is giving the right to whom? Parliament. For what? For making the laws. For making the laws. Means by article 11, parliament is getting the right to create the laws regarding citizenship. And by using that power of article 11, parliament created the law in 1955, that is citizenship act 1955. So how citizenship act 1955 is there, we'll see in next lecture. I think up to now it is clear for you people. So it is my humble request to all of you that please give me suggestions. Your suggestions, your comments are always welcome, and tell more and more people to subscribe this channel, because I will cover whole polity lectures in simple way and not from one book, so many books. I'm preparing my lecture. That's why you should not go to anywhere while preparing for UPSC. You can just see my lectures, and please tell all of your friends to subscribe that channel. And whatever suggestions you have, whatever doubts you have, you can comment me. Thank you so much.